For the introduction, I will tell you about what we will present in this slide. So, this studyism is a very important topic, which is the relationship between students' stress level and their academic performance here at UiTM Jenka. We collected all the necessary information by distributing an online questionnaire to the students. The study used two main types of data. First, we have qualitative data, which is based on the simple yes or no. Answer to the question, do you feel stressed while studying? This tells us how many students experience stress. Second, we have quantitative data represented by the students' CGPA, which is our measure of their academic success. To analyze this, we use descriptive analysis. For the yes-no responses, we look at frequency counts and simple charts. For the CGPA data, we perform a more detailed analysis, calculating measure of central tendency, dispersion, and skewness.
This multiple bar chart shows the number of male and female students in UiTM Jenka who experience stress while studying in UiTM Jenka. As we can see, the data reveals that female students report higher levels of stress compared to male students. Overall, the chart highlights that stress is a common issue among students, especially among females.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Alamai Sarah and I will explain to you about this chart. This pie chart shows the number of male and female students in UiTM Jenka who reported experiencing stress. From the data, 41 female students, which is 82%, experienced stress while only 9 male students, or 18%, reported the same. The pie chart clearly shows that the majority of students dealing with stress are female. This suggests that stress is more common among female students. Therefore, they may need more emotional support, guidance, and stress management resources to help them cope throughout their studies.
I will present a simple qualitative graph showing the number of students who experience stress while studying. This graph compares two categories, students who face stress and students who do not face stress. The vertical axis represents the number of students, while the horizontal axis shows the two response groups. From the graph, we can clearly see that a higher number of students reported experiencing stress compared to those who did not. The bar for yes is noticeably taller, indicating that stress is a common issue among students while studying. This result suggests that many students may be struggling with academic pressure, workload, or time management. It also highlights the importance of providing emotional and academic support to help students manage stress more effectively. In conclusion, the graph shows that stress is a significant experience for the majority of students, and this information can help us understand the challenge better.
To determine the central tendencies for both stress level and current CGPA, three key statistical measures were calculated: the mean, the median, and the mode. For mean, each variable was calculated by adding up all 50 recorded values and then dividing the total by the number of students. For CGPA, the total of all 50 CGPA values was divided by 50 to obtain the mean. So the answer is 3.5414. The same process was applied to stress level 2, where all stress scores were divided by 50 and obtained its average score. For median, the median was found by arranging all 50 values in ascending order, and median for CGPA is 3.7 and for the stress level is 22. We got it by 25 value and 26 value in the order list. Next is mode. That is most frequent value. The mode was identified by determine which value appears the most often in the data. And for the CGPA, 3.67 and for stress level is 24.
On this slide, I will explain how we calculated the standard deviation, variance and range for both CGPA and stress level. First, for CGPA, we started by using the standard deviation formula for a sample. We took the sum of the square root differences between each CGPA value and the mean, then divided it by 50 minus 1 since we have 50 students. After taking the square root of that value, we obtained a standard deviation of 0.3669, which shows that CGPA values are not very spread out. To find the variance, we simply square the standard deviation. 0.3669 squared equal to 0.1346. This tells us how much the CGPA values vary from the mean. For the range, we use the formula maximum value minus minimum value. The highest CGPA is 4 and the lowest is 2.65, giving us a range of 1.35. Next, for the stress level, we use the same steps. We calculate the sum of square differences from the mean divided by 49 and took the square root. This gave us a much larger standard deviation of 5.8203, showing big differences in student stress level. Then, we squared the value to get the variance, which is 33.8759. Lastly, for the range, we took the highest stress score, which is 34 minus the lowest score, which is 1, giving us a range of 33. So overall, this calculation shows that CGPA has a small spread, while stress levels vary greatly among the students.
To understand the spread of the middle 50% of our students, we look at the quarters. The first quartile, or Q1 for CGPA, is 3.330. This means that 25% of the students in our study achieve a CGPA of 3.330 or lower. On the other hand, the third quartile, or Q3, is 3.798. This indicates that the top 25% of students achieve a CGPA of 3.798 or higher. The difference between Q3 and Q1 gives us the interquartile range, or IQR. The IQR for CGPA is calculated as 3.798 minus 3.330, which equals to 0.468. This IQR of 0.468 tells us that the middle 50% of all student CGPA scores are spread across a relatively narrow range from 3.330 up to 3.798. Let's now apply the same quartile analysis to our stress level scores to measure the spread of student stress. The first quartile, or Q1 for stress level, is 18.25. This tells us that 25% of the students in our study reported a stress score of 18.25 or lower. Looking at the higher end, the third quartile, or Q3, is 24.00. This means that 25% of the most stressed students reported a score of 24.00 or higher. The interquartile range, IQR, calculated as the difference between Q3 and Q1, is 5.75. This IQR of 5.75 shows the variability in the stress score for the middle half of our students' population. Compared to the CGPA IQR, this number helps us compare how much the academic performance and stress level vary across the student body. Now, let's examine the shape of the CGPA distribution, which tells us about the symmetry of our data. We found that the mean CGPA is 3.45, while the median CGPA is slightly higher at 3.70. Since the mean is less than the median, this suggests that the distribution of CGPA scores is negatively skewed or skewed to the left. In practical terms, this means that the vast majority of the students achieve higher CGPA scores, but there are a few students with lower scores that are pulling the average down. Next, we look at the shape of the distribution for the stress level scores to determine its symmetry. In this case, the mean stress level is 20.96, where the median stress level is slightly higher at 22.00. Since the mean is less than the median, the distribution of stress scores is negatively skewed or skewed to the left. This indicates that the majority of students reported higher stress score, but there are a smaller number of students with extremely low stress scores pulling the mean down.
To conclude, based on our studies, most students reported experiencing stress while studying at UiTM Jengke. The CGPA data showed normal variation in academic performance with clear patterns identified through measures of central tendency and dispersion. Overall, the analysis suggests that stress is common among students and its presence may have an influence on academic outcomes, and these results highlight the importance of providing support system to help students manage stress and maintain good academic performance. That's all from us.